Hey guys, welcome back. We are back with the Bloodthirsty Challenge once again, and I am on my Discipline Priest, Soul Snuffer. We are out here in Loch Modan. Now, while I can't take on a lot of the rares with a lot of my characters, I'm just too afraid to, this one seems to be holding her own on them, and I have managed to get a couple of rares so far today out here. There was a few that weren't up, and when I first started out here today, there was like nobody around me, and I was like, okay, you know, this is fine. But I did have to exit for a quick minute, and when I came back, the zone kind of exploded with people, so I'm actually surprised that I've gotten as many as I have. And, you know, we'll see how far I can keep it going. I did already get the rare Trog over here. I am just trying to see if there's a chest up back here. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. I think I've seen it maybe once. Maybe twice at the most. And when I got down into the swamp part of the loch, a Lightforged Draenei Paladin decided to just come in guns blazing, decked out in heirlooms, and they were in prot spec, and they were just tagging everything left, right, and center. So I kept trying to move a couple feet away from them every time they got near me, and then they started tagging my mobs with their shield. And at first I thought, okay, well, maybe it was an accident, maybe let me just, you know, go like 15 feet this way, and you know, I'll leave them to it over there. And then next thing I knew, they were right on my ass again, and they tagged another one of my mobs, and I was like, ugh, and I was just watching my XP go down, and I like had one mob that I was killing, they had like 5 on them. I was like, okay, I don't understand what you're doing, but whatever. So I moved another 15 feet forward, left that person alone, went to do my own thing. I did manage to get the rare Murloc that was walking towards me while they were busy, and they actually didn't attempt to tag the Murloc that I could see, unless they just didn't notice it. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Then I got the rare Crocodile, and I was like, okay, cool, you know. I figured they were still back there killing their Murlocs, whatever. So I'm killing my way through the regular Crocodiles, trying to go see if Nyx is up, and lo and behold, I see a Avenger shield come flying through my screen and hits the Crocodile I'm on, dropping my XP by half again. And I finally couldn't take it anymore, and in /say, I was like, oh my god, please stop tagging my mobs. And I don't know what happened to them. They finally, you know, backed off. I'm like, if I keep moving away from you, take the hint. It's like, I'm okay. Just because I'm not in heirlooms, I don't need you to tag every mob. And then when I got over to where the ogres were, there was a mage that was tagging the mob I was killing. I was like, Jesus, what is going on here today? People, get your own damn mobs. It just irks me. I was like, fine, I'll go in this direction. I was almost about to just hang it up for the day and come back later, but or just move zones. But then I caught Ashtail up, and so I was like, alright, fine. And then I came around the corner, and then Lord Condor was up, and I was like, okay. And then Optimo was up, and I was like, okay, cool. And then we just got the rare Trog, and I was like, oh, I need to start recording the end of this level before I get too much further. Because, I mean, sometimes those last 3 bars can take forever. Oh, wrong way. And then other times they go in the blink of an eye. But right now this is the only one that I really feel any sort of comfortableness with taking on a rare at this level. And even at this level, the health pool on these guys, oh, there's the spider, is starting to get a little bit daunting. Like, this one's at 7,000 health. Like, what the hell? Why is this one at 7,000 health? They are a level higher than me. So, I mean, the other rares that I had been going after were like 5,000 health to mine. And I was like, okay, it's like my just under 2,000. I was like, alright, you know, that's a little high, but I think we'll be okay. We've got some heals and a shield and whatnot. I think we're alright. This one, I don't know why this one's health is so much higher. Kind of strange, but you know, whatever. Looks like we're okay here. Alright. And we're gonna check the cave just to make sure that the chest is not up, because you know that would be sad to miss a XP opportunity on the chest, because the chests at this point don't count as quests. I think it's only when you get to Pandaria, I believe, that they start counting as quests. I haven't seen them count as quests on my words today. On my other characters in Wrath, there we go. I'm like, I know this expansion. Why are words failing me right now? But yeah, so we're gonna start to make our way back towards Thelsamar here. We're about 5% short of dinging. And I'm gonna see if the Drunken Dwarf is up. He was not up earlier. I did miss a few rares. The Knoll was not up, the Dwarf was not up. The Kobold in the hut over by the mine was not up. Nyx was not up. The Ogre was not up. I did not check for the Cultist because that camp's a little sticky getting in and out of, and it was starting to get a little bit busy. And I was like, you know what, let me just skip that and try to put some distance between myself and some other people out here. So that way we're not all on top of each other, because I don't know what quests these guys are doing, but you know, whatever. So, because some of them seemed to be killing in odd areas, and I don't know if they just weren't questing and they were just normal grinding. I have no idea. Maybe they were just not liking their level. Maybe they were killing time for a dungeon to pop. I don't know. But, you know, it's like, whatever. Just, I'm not bothering you, so don't bother me. Alright, so sorry if there is a little bit of traffic noise, but I do have a window open. It's kind of rainy out still all week. And so the traffic's a little bit louder from the road being wet. You know, I apologize, but there's not a whole hell of a lot I can do about that. Unless I just not record, and then you guys will be missing out on stuff. And it's already bad enough with the whole not being able to stream situation. So, you know, I can at least try to get stuff posted up to YouTube for you. And, you know, we'll take it from there. And we'll see how things go. So, I do need to check on the fiber situation, although I doubt anything has changed in like a week or two. And we still haven't gotten the information from the new company about setting up our voicemail for our telephone. Okay, the husband and the mother-in-law went to do this because their names are on the bill. So I was like, fine, I don't need to go. There's no reason for three of us to be traipsing in over there. Whatever. Now, I don't know if they were given the paperwork on sign up for all of that, or if it was supposed to come on the first bill. We haven't gotten our first bill yet. We should be getting it soon, because when he paid, they just decided to count that as the payment for March, I believe, and that was kind of that. I wasn't there. I'm like hearing everything disjointedly secondhand, and I know Russell says I don't remember a lot of stuff, and that's true. I really don't. I have really terrible memory issues with like quick things or things that have happened a while ago, and you know, memories get fuzzy and whatnot depending on what ones stick. But me not being there, I don't know if that was the case or if they were handed the information with what they needed to set up the voicemail and just weren't paying attention. That is also possible, because the other night Russell came home and he's like, yeah, well, you know, we had been trying to figure out if his job was going to be closed for Good Friday or what have you, and he goes, I don't know, I gotta find out. And I was like, okay. And he did manage to drag himself into work for a couple of hours. Speaking of paladins, that's that Lightforged paladin that was giving me grief earlier. But damn it, thoughts. Yeah, so he's like, well, I gotta ask. Nobody seemed to know. And I was like, okay, that's fine. He drug himself into work for a couple of hours, and when he came home, I was making dinner, so I wasn't in our main room where the dogs were when he came in, and by the time he walked over to me after he talked to the dogs, oh, excuse me, he like really didn't have much to say. He was kind of struggling with the day and the weather and issues and stuff, so I was just like, okay, fine. And then I think yesterday I was like, well, you know, did you ever find out if they were going to be open for Good Friday? He goes, I told you they're going to be closed. I said, no, you didn't. He goes, yeah, I did. I was like, no, you didn't. He goes, I told you when you came home. I was like, no, you came in, you talked to the dogs, you came in the kitchen and like thumped into my shoulder with your head and stood there for like 15 minutes. You didn't say jack shit when you came home. And he's like, I could have swore I was like, no, hon, you did not. I would have remembered you saying that work was closed on Friday, because this is really important. It's like, are they open on Saturday with Sunday being Easter? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. The one boss that was there didn't know. Apparently it's going to be like a last minute decision or something. It depends on how backed up they are. Personally, I don't understand why they would need to be closed on Saturday, because, you know, Sunday's Easter, and to me, Easter's not a real big travel day, but then again, it's more of a religious holiday, I guess. I don't know. My family wasn't all that terribly religious. Well, part of my family wasn't that terribly religious, so we didn't really go to church or anything for Sunday. I think like my grandparents did, but my parents did not. And Easter was more of oh, what did the Easter bunny leave me, and dying eggs and stuff the day before. So it's more about the candy. I'm going to be perfectly honest. It was more about the candy than anything. But yeah, so I have no idea where I was going with that. Oh, yeah, bad memory. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. This might ding us. There we go. Just. Alright, so we are level 36 here, guys, on Soul Snuffer. So, I mean, my guys are taking a little bit longer to level, but, you know, whatever. Because I'm leveling so many now, I don't really care that it's taking them that long. I just want to get somebody there eventually. And we will. Hopefully. Okay, trying to get the pet out of the camera angle here. Okay. And we've got our in location right here. I'm not going to bother hearthing. It's like 5 feet away. Now, I did put some stuff up on Auction House before we started, and so far the only thing that sold was some linen. So there's some sadness there, but you know, what can you do? Alright, so let's get our slash blade here for the Twitters. Okay, let's bring up the picture. Yeah, we'll probably crop that down just a little bit, just because I'm such a tiny little gnome. Okay, that's a little better, I guess. So, Bloodthirsty Soul Snuffer. Well, I can spell. Disc Priest. Dings 36. Not too shabby. I was actually a quick level 36, but all of the rares definitely helped. Alright, so we have a slash played of 1 day, 6 hours, 47 minutes, and 2 seconds. Now this is on rested, don't forget. I try to play mostly on rested whenever possible, just to cut down the number of mobs I am going to need to get through the level. Alright, and our total kills overall are at 2,627. Alrighty, so we'll send that along to the Twitters. And I hope that all of you are having a good challenge experience, and that, wow, look at that whatever that is, that piece of meat is like as big as me. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. I could sit in this cup. Anyhow. Yeah, so I hope your challenge adventures are going well, and everything, as always, you can follow me on Twitter at NiseyBGN, and you can also find me in the WoW Challenges Discord. And I am just Nisey over there. I am one of the chat mods, along with Awesome Trousers, Zorts, Stir, and Boz. So you all have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Alright guys, we are back with the Bloodthirsties, and this is my monk, Soulfist. And I am in Brewmaster spec. And for those that may not recognize where I am in Feralis. Over here by Jademere Lake. And we are grinding on whelps. And it's been a long couple of hours. I haven't gotten much. I got 2 greens that really weren't maybe the most ideal stat block wise to put on, but I decided to go ahead and put them on because they were a stamina upgrade, and you know, more stamina, the longer it takes for me to die. And probably the most exciting thing that's happened this level is that a couple days ago, I finally managed to get the last whelpling that I had looted off of these guys to sell. And lo and behold, today I had 1 drop, and I was like, oh sweet, I've got another one that I can put up on the auction house. So I was really excited because I wasn't expecting to get another one anytime soon. And then I'd say maybe within 15 minutes I got a second one to drop, which is just crazy because I've never gotten 2 to drop in 1 run before, so in the course of 1 level, so that's just absolutely insane. And I was kind of joking. I was like, so I see your whelp, and I'll raise you a whelp for a sprite darter hatchling. And then a few minutes later I got a second whelp. I was like, okay, it's not exactly what I was looking for, but hey, alright, I'll take it. Hopefully we can get them to sell. That's the next big step. But hey, you know, still pretty cool. And things are a little bit slower in Brewmaster spec now that it takes a bit longer to kill things. I did actually head over to Thousand Needles when I first started out because, you know, I was like, oh, the zone's yellow on the map. Let's go take a look. I'll go over to the area where I usually grind over there, where the mobs are neutral, and we'll see how it goes. Apparently I picked a level 41 to attack that was in fact orange to me, and boy did I feel that it was orange to me in this spec. It hurt pretty bad, and I actually had to paralyze the target and decided to run because he was doing all sorts of crazy spells on me and I just wasn't getting him down quite fast enough. So I was like, yeah, my gear's probably not up to taking on an orange. because my gear is not in the greatest of shape. I've just been going with what's been dropping, and so it's a little all over. I mean, I could stand a new weapon, that would be nice. You know, new legs would be nice too. I mean, we still have level 11 legs on, so, you know, level 15 hands, so I'm sure that didn't help matters, but I've been averaging about 10% XP at this point in one trip around. So, it's been taking a little bit to get this done. I want to say I think I'm on trip 9 now around the lake. Something like that, I think. Close enough. And, you know, it was pretty quiet out here for a little while, and I was like, oh, hey, cool. And then a bunch of people showed up, but then I was looking at their level, and they appeared to actually be doing the quest that involves killing X number of these things and then moved on their way. They did not seem to be grinding for a pet, because the next round through, they were gone. So they seemed to just be on a mission, and when they were done their mission, they jetted right on out. So hey, whatever. That's fine with me. And it hasn't been too bad. I think a lot of people are out doing Noble Garden and all that happiness. And earlier today I did get my pacifist a level up. She's now 59. And I did take her to Dark Moon Fair. Finally remembered to get out there.
I don't have a target.
And I'm sorry the videos have been a wee bit non-existent the past few days. I've been working on the field medic title on my main. And it's taking a lot more time than I expected, and it's becoming an obsession now, shall I say. Because now I'm like, I need to get this title. I must have this title. So hopefully I will be wrapped up with that shortly.
I need to target something first.
I need 4 more things to get my title, so hopefully videos will be coming out a little bit faster. And I'll be able to be getting back to my challengers, but you know, it's nice to take a break every so often so you don't burn yourself out. Although it was quite a lot of grinding that I was doing for the field medic title, so I was like, yeah, we need to try something else for a little while. So the pacifist broke it up a little bit earlier today. It wasn't too bad, the zone wasn't too busy where I had to fill out the last little bit of XP that I needed, because I was about 20% short of dinging. So I was like, well, you know, let's go see how busy the zone is. If it's too busy, we'll pack it up and we'll try it again later. But it wasn't too bad out there. I didn't see too many people. Like I said, I think a lot of people are busy with Noble Garden at the moment. And that is just fine with me. Means more mobs for me to go after here. Alright, so we're at 93%, so providing it's not too busy up ahead, we might be able to do it on this time around. So we'll see. I mean, I haven't gotten very many green drops this time, and it's been a little disappointing. I think I've gotten 3. I think there was 1 male shoulder that I picked up that I couldn't put on, so I just kind of stuffed that back down in the auction house section of my bag, but, you know. I've kind of been making up for the money department on my main. She's been picking up a lot of the Shaldorai silk, and I was up to like over 2,000 pieces at one point in my bag farming for this field medic title, and I was like, you know, what am I going to do with all this? I was tempted to just straight up sell it, and then I wasn't so sure if it was going to sell for much, and then I looked at what I could make, 'cause she's a tailor. And there was a normal 24 slot bag that I could make, because I don't have the recipe for the larger one, and I was looking at prices, and I really didn't think it was going to sell, but I was like, you know, we'll make a couple, and we'll test the market, and so far they've been selling, so, you know, hey, whatever. Gold is gold at this point. I'll take it. Trying to save up for some tokens down the road. There hasn't been a whole lot of work from home options for me the past couple of weeks here. It's been a lot of stuff that I'm really not comfortable doing or I've never done before, and I really don't want to screw up my rating because my rating depends on what I'm eligible for to do. So, you know, we'll figure it out. But hey, if the gold can get me another month or so of WoW, then so be it. Alright. Pop a heal here. I don't get as much out of the heals in the tank spec. But you know, I guess that's to be expected. You know, we'll see what happens with this spec. I might end up switching back to... I might jump over to Windwalker maybe. I'm not that familiar with Windwalker, so I could potentially jump back to Mistweaver. I have gotten some mileage on the Mistweaver, so I know a little bit more about what I can do jumping into it from this point in the game if need be. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. Not quite ready to switch up yet. I don't think I really need to just yet. Totally missed that interrupt, although I don't think it was a huge deal. It wasn't like the noxious breath that I can never seem to get because it goes so fast. Half the time that spell just goes off so fast, I'm just like, screw it. Not even gonna bother. Not even gonna bother trying. See, I missed it there. I'm not fast enough. But, you know, that's okay. It's not hurting me that bad. And it's all good. Alright, I'm trying to remember who's next on my list to level, and it might be... I think it's my druid. So you'll probably be seeing a druid attached to this video. Probably the balanced druid, I think, is who's next. It's either them or the... I think I've got the rogue, the warlock, and the druid coming up, and I'm not sure who's next in line. I'm pretty sure it's the druid. I'm trying to remember the rotation that they're currently sitting in. It's a little difficult to remember when you've got this many. Oh, you know what? I also have a low-level hunter in there somewhere too, so... Forgot about him. He's the hunter that we're going to test out the waters on survival spec. I can't say how long we're going to be in survival spec, but we'll try. I'm not that familiar with it. I don't think I've ever tried it since the changes that came down to it. I might have tried it once quite some time ago when it was more about traps. So probably pre-Legion at the very least. But, you know, we'll see how that goes. If we don't like it, we can always switch back, because as he says, we can always switch specs. Alright. So we're just about there, guys. We're at 97%. So I'm thinking we might be able to do it on this run through. It's been a long run through though, I will say. I can't really go off my slash plate on this level because there's been a little bit of hopping on and checking auctions and then putting more auctions up, so it's not going to be a 100% accurate time frame on this one. I will say I have been working on this one since maybe about 3 hours now. I was gonna take a break, but I was like, you know, I'm almost done. Let's just get this one done, and that'll be our challenger for the day. And then we will move on to something else. Got a couple different projects I'm currently trying to work on. I was actually going to work on my Tin Man today. I was like, no, I need to work on a Bloodthirsty. We just need to buckle down and get in there and do it. So, we picked this one. This one was next on the list anyhow. Alright. 98%. We got about 3,000 left to go. Roughly. Give or take a little bit here and there. And, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm really hoping to get some gear to drop here because I really don't want to have to go to auction house. Oh, those are the bracers I actually put on earlier. Same exact stats too, so we'll be selling that set. And I mean, these guys do drop a little bit of money, so I've made maybe 2-3 gold in the amount of time that I've been grinding on these, and that sounds really sad, but you know. It is what it is. It would be nice if they dropped maybe a little bit broader range of stuff, but I'm not going to complain. We've been getting some small amounts of vendor trash. It just looks small dollar-wise because I'm so used to being on my main recently and seeing the trash vendor amounts in the gold range and then seeing these in the silver, and I'm like, oh, that's not very much. I'm like, no, it wouldn't be. You're only level, what, 30 something, so it's gonna be lower. I keep reminding myself that.
I don't have a target.
Alright. Moving on along here. And we've got just a little bit further to go.
It's too far away.
Up to 111,008. Some change there. Alright, and so far Teams is going okay with Zords. We're still alive. We had a minor snafu the last time we played, trying to quest in Dustwallow Marsh. We managed to get over there in one piece and then realized, hey, the zone's yellow on the map, but it's not giving us any quests. We were half a level shy. So we ended up having to jet over to Crossroads in the Northern Barrens, and we were going to go rare hunting because we thought between the two of us we should be able to do it, no problem. And then when we landed in Crossroads, we're like, hey, there's quests here. Completely forgetting that we decided to skip the Barrens. So we did a few quests there, we got our ding, and I believe when we are next going to play again, we're going to be heading back to Dustwallow. Because I really don't want to be in the Barrens for too much longer. It's scary. We had the one mishap there. I don't want to be there if we can help it. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be heading back to the Wallows of Dust this week. Alright, Mr. Stag, are you going to ding us? I think you are. Woohoo! There we go, guys. Alright. So there's our ding on the monk. A ding and 2 whelps. Alright, so let's get our screenshot. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Oh, that's not what I wanted either. If I can just get her to face the damn camera. There we go. Good enough. Alright, so let's hearth back and we'll get our slash played here. Alright, so we're at 1 day 9 hours. I was actually expecting that to be a lot longer. Alright, so let's see here. We've got Bloodthirsty. If I can learn how to type today. Soulfist. the Brewmaster Monk. And we are now level 39. Almost to 40, guys. Slash played of 1 day, 9 hours, 50 minutes, and 48 seconds. And our total kills are at this point in time. Let's see what we got here. 3,468. Yes. Alright, so that's gonna do it for this character. And I'll see you guys again with another one shortly.